Drivers getting themselves set up here, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, the start of our second race in this Pro Mazda Championship presented by Cooper Tires. The two teammates on the front row. Aaron Telitz in the 82, Pato O'Ward in the number 80. They are in a battle for the championship. O'Ward able to claw back a little yesterday. Let's see what happens now. Drivers in position, getting ready to punch off. Telitz with the jump. Green, green, green. Kevin Christensen, one of our Allied Building Products guests, throwing that flag. They'll roll the way down into one. This is important here right now. Telitz to the inside. Pato trying to roll the outside. Good run for Pato O'Ward on the outside here. Telitz going to try to roll him coming out. Pato O'Ward, no contact between the two drivers. Pato goes around. Pato around 360, he continues. Pato, a 360, he continues. Oh, there's damage. Right rear damage to that car, I believe. Pato O'Ward, loose, an issue with that car. Left rear. Got to be a left rear suspension issue for the number 80. You can see that car jacked up. It's fallen down on the left rear. Here's a replay of it as they work their way out of the corner. Telitz got a little wide coming out on the exit. Got into the left rear. He's able to continue. An amazing save by Pato O'Ward to get that car back around a full 360. But of course the damage, you can see the Mazda Speed driver Nico Jamin getting held up by the damaged car of O'Ward. But here's your start now. It'll put Telitz to the lead. DePero now in second. Being told, of course, the race control having to look at the start there, and we'll review what they see on the racetrack. Hard racing coming out of turn number 1. Telitz your leader. DePero in second. Back to third position, TJ Fisher. Wow, what a wild start. Pato O'Ward did not want to give it up on the outside at turn number 1, and man, did a great job keeping that car on the throttle, getting it to rotate on the outside of the corner. They rolled into turn number 2 there, that second part of that kind of double left-hand opening complex. Rolling through turn number 3 now. It is still Telitz with the lead over DePero. Nicholas DePero, solid young rookie. Pato O'Ward into pit lane as we expected. He's rolling down here now. We know we have Tony Laporte, I believe, down there. We'll see if we're going to go to Tony here. But Pato O'Ward bringing that car into pit lane. As I said, pretty evident that it has left rear damage. You can see that car actually kind of taking its own line as it's coming down here, just all over the place. They'll bring that down here now to the Team Pelfrey crew. Telitz continues to lead over DePero. But again, Pato O'Ward into pit lane. They've got the quick jack up on it. The team going to work, trying to get him back on the racetrack. Every point crucial here for Pato O'Ward. Even if they can get him out with a couple laps down, all it takes is a couple drivers to have some trouble during this 30-minute race rather. He could jump up a couple of positions. So they're doing whatever they can to get that car fixed down on pit lane. The drivers will roll down here, putting Pato O'Ward down a lap. Telitz and DePero. Then it's Fisher, Parsons, and Owen. Good run here for the Juncos Racing drivers. All 3 drivers in the top 5. So Aaron Telitz now with control of this race, the number 82. A lot of chaos in turn number 1 and 2, but surprisingly, and to the credit from the remainder of the drivers in this Pro Mazda category, it could have got ugly, but they were all able to take evasive maneuvers. They gave each other lots of room, got off the throttle, and even as O'Ward did that 360 coming out of turn number 2 after the contact, he was able to get straightened around, everybody staying out of him, and the rest of those drivers able to continue. So again, a wild start to the action here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. We say a big hello to each and every one of you listening live on the Mazda Road to Indy app. You may be tuned into roadtoindy.tv or the IndyCar Race Control app, or even watching on ProMazda.com. We're just thrilled that you're here with us for championship weekend, and I'll tell you, a palpable buzz of tension on pit lane. Paddock, of course, full of the drivers, everyone fired up and ready to go here today. You can see the faces of these drivers, those involved in the championship, and how important it is. A lot of discussions between drivers with other teams looking to move up. USF 2000 drivers looking at the Pro Mazda program for 2017. A number of drivers focused on trying to make the jump to the Indy Light Series. So a lot of action here. It'll be Championship Sunday today, but it'll also be Silly Season Tuesday and Monday when we get rolling here, because everything will start on Monday and Tuesday morning, talking about who's going to go where. 2017 schedule expected to come out fairly soon here for the Mazda Road to Indy. So again, down on pit lane, we've talked about the fact that Pato O'Ward came in here to pit lane, but we're going to throw it down here to Tony Laporta, who's standing by, watching that team go to work on the number 80.
Yeah, Rob, we're down here right now in the Team Pelfrey pit. I'm watching the mechanics for the number 80 of Pato would work on that Topo Chico Gap Guard Team Pelfrey car. And it looks like another bent toe link, which we saw jump out and bite Will Owen from Yunkos yesterday. They're repairing a lot of that left rear suspension. They've got the left rear Cooper tire ready to go back on now. They're going to put the rear cowling back on the back of the car. But from the initial looks of it, a bent toe link on the left rear here for Pato O'Ward. Not what he needs chasing a championship here today on Sunday.
Let me tell you, this championship just took a wild turn. Being told that Aaron Telitz is going to be given a drive-through penalty for the contact between himself and Pato O'Ward. A drive-through penalty for the number 82 of Aaron Telitz. The contact, of course, coming on the exit of the corner. Telitz's car pushed out wide, got into the back of Pato O'Ward. So Telitz getting a penalty here, just a drive-through. It'll put him back a lap, but he, again, will stretch the advantage at this point if he's able to bring it home. This is going to give the lead to Nicholas DePero. I have talked about this young Argentinian all year long, about how impressive he has been, getting quicker and quicker throughout the season. 4 drivers started the year with Juncos Racing. Garrett Grist, of course, part of that team, kind of the team leader for the first half of the season before jumping to Indy Lights. Nicholas DePero was that young rookie, 16 years of age, raw rookie coming up here with Juncos Racing, but he just started getting better and better throughout the year. Impressive to see Nicholas get a couple of podium finishes earlier this year. He was on the podium at Road America. A great run for him on that fantastic racetrack, and then was able to do it again later down in the year, able to get onto the podium, I believe, in Toronto. So at this point, to see Nicholas do what he's doing on the racetrack, and he's going to get this race lead. As I said, a drive-through penalty being issued here to Aaron Telitz. He'll come into pit lane right now. We'll see what happens. He's got to hit that pit lane speed limit perfectly, and he's going to try to challenge himself back to the field. Remember, as we've talked about, Pato O'Ward already a couple laps back, getting adjustments, and potentially a penalty for Pato as well, as they had too many men, I believe, over the wall. Going to be a drive-through for Pato O'Ward as well. Too many men over the wall to repair that car, so he'll get another drive-through penalty. So here comes Telitz back onto the racetrack. I want to say he's falling all the way back to the tail of the field. But ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Telitz is coming. He's got to get this car back on the racetrack. He's going to come out probably 5 or 6 seconds behind that group of Bobby Eberle, Moises de la Vera, Dan Swanbeck, and Joseph Burton Harris. He's going to try to claw his way back up some points. Still a long way to go. So this race just took a huge turn, as did the championship. Now Nicholas DePero in that beautiful white and blue Juncos racing car, looking to try to get another victory here for Juncos. They won both races in Pro Mazda last year here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca with Garrett Grist. What a crazy championship storyline change. It'll still be beneficial in the end to to Aaron Telitz. As Pato a couple laps down now. TJ Fisher now runs in the second position in the third Team Pelfrey car. Jake Parsons right there in fourth. In third, Will Owen in fourth. Nicholas DePero, your leader. TJ Fisher in second. Jake Parsons third. Will Owen now fourth. Nico Jamin in fifth spot. Joseph Burton Harris now runs sixth. Moises de la Vera in seventh. Dan Swanbeck in 8th position. Corey Enders in 9th. Enders in 10th. Telitz 11th. Award in the 12th spot. Award having to do that drive-through penalty as well for having too many men over the wall to repair the number 80. He's now 3 laps back. Telitz will be on the throttle trying to work his way forward to claw as many points he can possibly get back here. I want to say it was around a 7-point advantage for Telitz coming into this race. Telitz is going to be on the throttle, working his way forward. We're going to watch lap times for sure to see what he's able to lay down in terms of the leaders. A 1:25.072 laid down by Nicholas DePero, leading by almost 5 full seconds from TJ Fisher and Jake Parsons. Now here comes Telitz. We're going to key on him a little bit. The driver of that Rice Lakes Weighing Systems Pro Mazda for Team Pelfrey, trying to fight his way back forward. Now right up to the rear bumper, or the rear wing of number 11, Corey Enders. Telitz will come up the inside of Corey Enders over into turn number 6 now. He's through. Enders, though, running in the national class, so that'll still put Telitz, I believe, 7th in the championship class points. Telitz going to try to work his way forward here again. This great run by Nicholas DePero has him with a nice little advantage this time by 1:24.83. A 1:24.83. He's a full second quicker than TJ Fisher. DePero, so impressive here today. DePero was putting pressure on Telitz early, but again, to recap, contact between the front row starters and primary points contenders, the 2 drivers with the chance at this Pro Mazda Championship. Contact on the exit of turn number 2. Award got a good run around the outside. Telitz pushes wide on the exit, gets into the left rear, damages the rear suspension for Award. He heads straight to pit lane to make adjustments. Too many men over the wall. They issue him a drive-through after that, but after reviewing the start, race control determining that that was on Aaron Telitz, they give him a drive-through as well. Telitz now falling down the order, as we said, down to the very tail of the field, but he is going to try to fight his way back. But check out this battle here for second spot. What an amazing fight for second. TJ Fisher, Jake Parsons, and Will Owen, nose to wing, all the way around this racetrack. Pato Award now, after the win yesterday, working his way through turns 3 and 4. 12th position. He will lose ground in the championship if Telitz is able to bring this thing home to the checker. Still 17 minutes remaining in this 30-minute run. DePero looking to grab his first win of the year. Tell you, this will be a driver to watch in 2017, I can tell you that. Young driver out of Argentina. He's been getting better and better throughout the season. That podium at Road America was absolutely amazing. Got a podium as well at Lucas Oil Raceway on the oval, which is not something you expect to see out of a young rookie driver. Always tough to run there at that 5/8 mile Lucas Oil Raceway. Good fight here for second, third, and fourth. You can see Parsons putting a ton of pressure on him. Here comes Telitz now going to work on Swanbeck. That's Dan Swanbeck in the number 7. Telitz closing up on him as well. Going to try to look to the inside of turn 6. Going to be smart coming up the hill here. Let's see if Telitz tries him into the braking zone at the corkscrew. You don't want to get caught behind him. He's going to try to roll up in him here. Swanbeck right with him. Telitz not going to make the dive move into the corkscrew, although Swanbeck goes a little wide. Telitz got to mind his P's and Q's here. Thinking about the outside of the rainy curve. He knows he needs to get by. He's got to try to chase down Moises De Oliveira and Joseph Burton Harris. Thinks about going to the inside of turn number 11, and I think not quite. Oh, he might not even have the run down into 1 here now. Would have been better to set up for that run down to 1, but of course Telitz knows time is of the order here right now. He's got to get by. Time running short for the driver out of Wisconsin, trying to get more points here. I think he threw away a passing opportunity in turn number 1 to try to get it done in turn 11. Might have been wiser to hang back a little bit. Now he's going to follow him through 2, 3, and 4 again. We're going to do this all over again. Tough to pass here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, especially if the driver in front of you gets a bit aggressive. Telitz not quite close. If he's showing a nose, he's trying to let Swanbeck know. They're in different categories. Swanbeck in the national class, he could easily just let Telitz go here now, but Swanbeck trying to hold back the points leader. Telitz has got to be smart. He's lost a full lap here, not waiting until turn 1. He's going to get a good run up the hill. Right on Swanbeck again. Here goes Telitz to the inside this time. Yeah, there's a strong move. Through the apex, coming through here now. So Telitz gets by. Swanbeck going to try him back on the outside. This time he tucks back in behind, so Swanbeck. Swanbeck running in 8th overall, 2nd in the national class now. Bobby Eberle right there as well. Eberle, I believe now, in the 3rd spot in national. Swanbeck in 2nd, Moises De Oliveira leading the way. Oh, here comes that battle for 2nd. Hey, add Nico Jamin to the fight here as well, the driver of the Soul Red Mazda number 2. Jamin, double winner here last year in USF 2000 en route to the championship. Coming off 2 big victories, swept the weekend at Mid-Ohio. Trying to have a good run for himself here now. Jamin currently running in the 5th position, kind of watching this battle unfold in front of him. Fisher still holding back, a very determined yet still patient Jake Parsons. Contact with a couple of drivers. Fisher gets together. That's TJ Fisher. Contact between Fisher and I believe Parsons. We are going to go red potentially here. There's the contact between those 2 drivers. Here's a replay of it. On the exit of the corner, that was contact between Jake Parsons and TJ Fisher. Parsons have been able to get by, had the move on the inside. That was that fight for 2nd place we figured was going to be a wild one. Parsons able to get to the inside of TJ Fisher. You could see the look on TJ Fisher's eyes there. I think he knew he had a podium finish potentially in the books. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to bring Aaron Telitz back to the very tail of the field. Telitz is going to have a shot at going back to the podium here if they're able to get this incident cleaned up quickly. So double yellow being shown on the racetrack. Everyone's slowing down. There's Jake Parsons out of the car. I want to say that may be his half shaft sitting down in front of the car there. You can see the wheel jammed up as he backed it in, the right rear making contact with the tire barrier on the exit of the corkscrew. That's going to move Will Owen to 2nd, Nico Jamin to 3rd, Joseph Burton Harris up to 4th, Moises De Oliveira to 5th, Aaron Telitz up to 6th position. DePero still leads, of course, with that number 31 machine for Juncos Racing. In fact, Juncos runs 1-2. So yellow flag on the racetrack. Fisher now finally out of the number 81. Hopefully we can get another look at the replay there to have just that final look at it. Now we've had a chance to see it. It's hard to see the very start of it, but I believe that Parsons had the move to the inside. Here's the replay again. We're going to have to jump through forward. We're going to get the tail end of it. As it looks like Parsons tried to go around the outside. So as they rolled down through, I'm going to say that TJ Fisher probably missed the apex, the entry apex to the turn a little bit, was coming down through the first part of the corkscrew, getting set to make the right-hander at the bottom. You know that car's going to kind of jolt to the left a little bit. It looked to me like Parsons was trying to force the issue to get the position. Good aggressive move by Parsons, but I don't think he gave Fisher quite enough room on the exit, knowing that that car was going to start to move to the left. When you get down to the bottom of the hill there, and you can see it anytime we get a video of coming through the corkscrew, you can see those cars as they come down there and make that transition. They come through a kind of a compression at the bottom of the corkscrew. The car just wants to naturally move to the outside of the racetrack. We see so many drivers run really quick laps. They go well out to the outside. And when that car gets in there and starts to push out, as it does, of course, physics of the equation will have that car going to the outside of the corner. I think Parsons was just trying to be maybe a little too aggressive in holding Fisher back, and there was really nothing Fisher could have did. That car was going left. Give it up to Parsons, though. Man, he had made a great run down the hill, and had he given him a little more room, he may have got that pass done. That was a great move by Parsons. Just a little too aggressive on the final defense of the position as they worked their way out of the corkscrew. So, man, crazy run there as we have 10 minutes remaining. The Gemalto safety crew, as they always do for us, does their best to get us back to green flag racing. So let's have a look at the order again. Nicholas DePero, the leader in the 31. Again, inherited the lead after that drive-through penalty to Aaron Telitz when they got together. He and Pato got together in the opening lap coming out of turn number 2. Of course, Pato Ward damage to the left rear. He's now 3 laps down. Drive-through penalty to Aaron Telitz. Dropped him to the very tail of the field. He's been able to get by a couple drivers. Corey Enders, Bobby Eberle, and Dan Swanbeck, but this is totally playing into the hands of Telitz now as this yellow flag has bunched everybody right back up. Considering the pace that Nicholas DePero has shown in the Juncos Racing number 31, I doubt that anyone's going to be able to challenge him, but there's definitely a possibility that Telitz is going to be able to get back onto the podium. DePero, Owen, Jamin, Burton Harris, and De La Vera. Your top 5 here now. De La Vera also leading in the national class here. Pato O'Ward, tail of the field now. Again, O'Ward, 3 laps down. We are now rolling behind the Mazda Road to Indy pace car, and we are setting ourselves up for a great battle. Tony Laporta standing by down on pit lane with the managing director of the Juncos Racing Pro Mazda crew, Peter Dempsey. Tony, what has Mr. Dempsey got to say about the way things are shaking out here right now?
Well, we're going to find that out right now. Peter, obviously not the scenario you guys wanted with your driver Jake Parsons being involved in that first incident. First of all, can you tell me, do you guys know exactly what went wrong, what's broken on the car after the contact with Fisher?
Yeah, it looks like we got a rear corner off and the right rear, unfortunately. But he was driving really well, coming through the field. Unfortunately, we got raced a little aggressive and we didn't finish the race. But thankfully, we have Nico and Will Owen first and second, so hopefully we can just stay in that position.
And this is quite the rebound today in race number 2 from race number 1 for Will Owen, who suffered suspension damage after an incident in the corkscrew. What do you make of this second race of the weekend here for Pro Mazda, a class that has not exactly had the excitement that they'd like all season, but right now here in race number 2 of a triple header, things are looking pretty intense right now. What do you make of this second race of the weekend?
Yeah, it's obviously coming down to the wire. Championships are at stake, and everyone's here trying to get a win, the first win of the season for us. So everyone's just racing aggressive. It's always the same situation last race of the weekend. Everyone kind of, wants to take that little bit more risk and, makes the racing exciting because Pro Mazda is a great series and hopefully we can get more cars next year.
All right, thank you again. Peter Dempsey, team engineer for Juncos Racing. Their drivers, Nico DePero and Will Owen, running 1-2 here late in Pro Mazda race number 2.
You can see over the shoulder there, Jake Parsons working his way back to his crew after that incident over in turn number 7, 8, and 9, that corkscrew area of the racetrack, 7 and 8 rather. It's just a tough one for Jake Parsons. I believe they had a great battle going between he and TJ Fisher. Jake just trying to kind of take advantage of TJ overcooking it coming into the corner. And again, Parsons getting the opportunity to chat with Peter Dempsey and the crew. They gave him high fives as soon as he rolled in there. They like the fact that this young kid's a charger. He's aggressive. And again, the opening was there. It was fairly easy to see that Parsons was right alongside Fisher as they came down and dropped into the corkscrew. All he had to do maybe was give him just a little bit more room on the exit. But when you're a racer, you figure you're side by side with the guy, you're going to be okay. Tough one there for Jake Parsons. Being told 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes to go here in this race. And of course, the Helm Ultra safety crew doing the best they can to get things cleaned up in the corkscrew so that we can go back to green flag racing. I guarantee you Aaron Tielet's chomping at the bit. He just wants a couple more shots at it here. Interesting. I told you how Pato O'Ward needed to get himself back on the racetrack. He needed to get that car fixed as soon as possible. He has already picked up 2 positions. Of course, Fisher and Parsons out of the race. This moves Pato O'Ward back up in the 10th spot. That's a couple of points, folks, when you think about this, and that's why it's so important. We're going to go green this time by, being told, folks, right back to green. And again, 12th place worth 9 points. Okay, folks, back down to Tony Laporta real quick. We're going to go back to green here now, but back to Tony Laporta very quick with a...
TJ Fisher, really quickly, we don't have long before the green flag. Just tell me what happened in the incident that's taken you out of this race.
Yeah, I just made a mistake going to the corkscrew. Locked on my right front. Kind of went off and then bottomed out. It was just kind of a front. Unfortunately, me and Jay had to collide. But yeah, it's a bummer. I wanted a good result for my team, so. Yeah.
Back to green flag racing here as they work their way up into turn number 1. We are racing with less than 5 minutes remaining here in this Pro Mazda Championship. Good jump for Nicholas DePero. He leads them down. Aaron Tielet's going to go to work very quickly, trying to find a way by Moises De Oliveira. De Oliveira actually in the national class, so if he gets by, that's not even worth a point. They're in separate categories in terms of points. 8 drivers in the championship class, 4 drivers in the national class. So again, as it stands here now, Pato O'Ward just 1 position behind Aaron Tielet after the contact between Fisher and Parsons. So that was definitely a lucky strike for Pato O'Ward. Back up the hill. Let's see if Will Owen has anything for his young teammate. DePero leads, Owen second. It is Nico Jamin now running in that 3rd spot. A couple drivers dropping a wheel coming up through turn number 5 and 6 here. Tielet has got to get aggressive. He has got to get by. Big lockup for both drivers. He's going to try to work his way around De Oliveira. De Oliveira locked it up. Then Tielet's locked it up as well as they'll roll through Rainy Curve. Another driver dropping a wheel in the exit of turn 9. They're pushing very hard. There's a battle in front of him. That's Burton Harris and De Oliveira right in front of Tielet. He's got to be smart and get this run onto the straightaway as they race each other. And he does. Tielet's going to go side by side with De Oliveira coming up the straightaway. De Oliveira tucks in behind. Tielet's going to try to make a move on Burton Harris. That's actually for a points-paying position. Aaron Tielet's now in the 5th spot, right behind 4th place. Burton Harris locks him up coming through turn number 2. Tielet's not quite able to get by, but he's right there. DePero, Owen, Jamin, your top 3. We will see the white flag next time by as time winding down. Tielet's trying to fight for 1 more position. He only has 1 position over Pato O'Ward. The way this is shaken down, unbelievable. O'Ward lucky to have that incident between Fisher and Parsons bring him back up into what will be 6th overall in the national class. Tielet's runs in 5th. Tielet's needs to get by Joseph Burton Harris if he wants to get any more points out of this race. You look at the points. 4th spot worth 19, 6th worth 15. So if Tielet's can get by, it'll be a 4-point advantage to move him a little forward for race number 3. Tielet's had an opportunity to get a bunch of points, actually. Probably make up somewhere around 7 or 8 points if O'Ward finished 8th last in the championship class, but that contact just a couple laps ago changed everything. DePero now leading. He'll see the white flag this time by. 1 to go for Nicholas DePero, looking to score his first Pro Mazda Championship victory. Owen second, Jamin third. Tielet's not close enough to Burton Harris to make a move. As you watch them come through, Tielet's still back by a couple of car lengths. Aaron Telitz trying to find a way by Joseph Burton Harris in the world speed number 32. The point leader trying to scrap a couple more points. That's worth 2 more markers for the championship with 1 more race to go this afternoon. Up front, Nicholas DePero has been awesome this weekend. So consistent. Very impressive what he's been able to do here today. Telitz is running out of time here. Remember, final lap here in Pro Mazda. The second race of this triple header. Telitz not close enough to get by Burton Harris. Eberle almost off in turn number 6. Eberle off the racetrack and back on. Telitz not even close to Burton Harris. Not able to make the move unless it happens over in turn number 10. He'll have to rely on a mistake for the driver in front of him. Look at Will Owen closing up on DePero. DePero cooks it going in. Wow, DePero almost overcooked in the final corner, able to hold on. It's a Juncos Racing 1-2 across the line. Nicholas DePero victorious at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Will Owen in second. Nico Jamin ends up in third. Joseph Burton Harris in fourth. Aaron Telitz fifth. Sixth in the championship class is Pato O'Ward. Seventh is TJ Fisher. Eighth is Jake Parsons. The winner in the national class here today, Moises de Oliveira over Dan Swanbeck and Corey Enders. So again, what could have been, what should have been. Contact between the 2-point leaders in turn number 1 ends up with Telitz in 5th and Pato O'Ward 6th. The difference in the championship, just 2 points in terms of what they were able to make in this race. I believe it's going to be either 9 or 10 points. It could be a 10-point advantage for Aaron Telitz going into the final race of this championship year. DePero, though, with the victory, 0.4 of a second ahead of a hard-charging Will Owen. Of course, DePero almost got himself in trouble there in the final corner, but he's able to hold on for the victory ahead of Will Owen and Nico Jamin.